Welcome to Finding Your Sexiness podcast. And today I'm here with two goddesses from the Conscious Life Expo, Shima and Joan of Angels. So, Shima, you actually were involved with the Conscious Life right at the beginning of...
Yes.
Yeah.
Before day one.
Yeah. So, the name Shima, you were actually ordained in
Mount Shasta, where I just moved last year. And in 2000, there was a reunion of a group out of San Francisco from the 70s, actually. And they were a hands-on healing group. And my then fiancé was part of the group, and I had met several of the members along the way, and I just, instant family, you know. And so we went up there, and they actually asked me if I wanted to be ordained. And they said, well, we will, you know, and your name, your spiritual name will come through. I had never heard Shima before. And so I was on Panther Meadows in Mount Shasta, which is a gorgeous place. And they sang it to me when it came through.
So it was that you actually heard it coming through, or?
I actually kind of like the whole thing is a little fuzzy at the moment, but it was a circle. There was about, maybe there was 6 of us, I think, who were ordained that day. Mm-hmm. And everyone was given their spiritual name. And my husband, and my who later became my husband, said, oh, yes, you know, it rhymes. You're going to take it no matter what it is? I said, yes, I'll take it. And he said, oh, well, I got to tell you, it rhymes with perpetude, like Gertrude, or something else. He said, you'll take it no matter what? I said, yes. And so when it came, I think I was the last one to be ordained, and they sang it to me. And a couple of weeks later, somebody gave me the album by Diva Premal that has the song Shima on it. Shima, 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 Shima. And it means, in Hopi, it means love. Wow. And she says on her album, if you chant this word, you sing this word, you will find bliss. You know,
beautiful.
It's love. And then I married Moore, and I became Shima Moore.
That's more love.
More, no matter how you look at it, right?
Yeah.
And so that's kind of how that came about. And out of that group, actually, I have to say, really, it was the beginning, really, of conscious life, because my friendship with Robert Quicksilver came through that group. And then I brought him into the expo world, and he connected with some of the producers, and that was really quite beautiful. And then he ended up producing this event in Los Angeles. So I went from Whole Life Expo, which I was working at in San Francisco, to being one of the founders of Conscious. There was 3 of us, actually. He started it.
So how many years has Conscious Life been going on?
17 years. It's
amazing.
Astounding. So I look out in the audience and I ask, how many people are here for the first time? And this year, it seems like the majority of people are new. It's wonderful.
I think they said there was something like 20,000 people came through the entire weekend. It was massive.
Yes, it was really quite a wonderful event.
All these people waking up and interested in different spiritual things. And there was a lot of different speakers this time on all different subjects.
Yes.
You know,
there were a lot of young people. I noticed there were a lot more younger people.
Yeah, so it's everything from awakening consciousness to becoming psychic to perhaps extraterrestrial.
And this year, you know, there were some speakers here who, for me, really expanded my understanding of things, because it was like the online world of a whole other generation of information. Kind of, some of it had started sort of from the New Age movement, and you can kind of like see, you know, I think it's like become like the tribal, I don't even know what they're all called at this point, but it's, you know, in some cases it would be probably our grandkids. I hate to say that, but not really. Yeah. You know, it's really quite a beautiful thing to see that the teachings that we have been so dedicated to for such a long time have really taken hold, and there's a whole new wave of energy coming.
And you were saying you're going through a transformation this year, moving now to Mount Shasta?
Yes, last year after Conscious Life was in February. I went up to, I do Stargate meditations in Mount Shasta, and that's the home base there. And last year, I just decided, I think it's time for me to move here.
Mm-hmm.
And the mountain, I looked at a place up there, and I just could not get it out of my mind. It wasn't the right timing for me at that point, but the mountain, it just, when it wants you, it just kind of like, I'm not sure really what happens. I look at it, because it's not, you can't always see it every day. Between the smoke, I moved there during the 3 fires, or the weather, there's like a cloud sometimes. It's like, where did this huge mountain go? But when I see it, there's like this, I love this mountain. It's like, there's a connection that is so profound.
Now, there are people that say that there are extraterrestrials that live inside the mountain, there are UFOs that visit the mountain,
Yes.
that there's a lot of extraordinary energy there.
Yes.
Is it true?
Well, here's the thing that I've discovered last year. I met a friend who read a book about Telus, and there's a city known as Telus in the mountain. Now, is it a 3D, a third dimensional reality, or is it another level dimension? Now, my experience has been that there is, the whole 5th dimension, we've skipped sort of like the 4th, we've gone to the 5th. And in the work that I do, we actually go to the 12th dimension. And at that point, we are sensitive to being able to call forth and experience the energy of the angelic realm, the ascended masters, our star families, and some of the elementals, the mountain being one, Saint Germain, Adama Saint Germain, and a lot of these things are really new to me, I have to say. But as humanity starts to awaken its multi-strand DNA. We on a 3rd dimension level, we have 2 strands of DNA, biologically. But what we've come to discover is that we have many, many more strands of DNA. And as those start to be awakened, which is what the Stargate does, and many other forms of meditations that are around, we become more sensitive to these beings. We become more sensitive to our powers. We become more intuitive. We become more just sensitive and aware. And I really feel that humanity is ready for a huge shift. I think we can all feel it. Everything is quickening.
Well, tell us more about the work that you're doing right now.
Well, I became a facilitator for the Stargate. I wasn't really planning on doing that, but this weekend at Conscious Life Expo, a lot of people talked about their experiences of near-death experiences and how going through the tunnel or the amount of love that they experienced, and they didn't want to come back. And I realized that as I was listening to more and more speakers talk about this near-death experience, I thought, that's the experience of the Stargate. There's this experience of bathing in this amazing energy of love, and in that there's transmissions happening, there's all different, and some people see, some people hear, some people feel. Everyone has their own awakening, and different times, different things. So that is the work that I have been really called to do, because I've never experienced so much love in my life, and I've been meditating for many decades. And this is fast. This is like, whoa. I did a meditation, Joan was there, she introduced me, she held the energy with me, and in 20 minutes, the room was transformed. People have an amazing experience. It's not a linear type of thing, so it's kind of, I'm not really sure exactly what happens, but we all get sort of this transformation that occurs, and it seems to be stronger and stronger and stronger. So I feel like the world, we are ready. The Pleiadians have come to the world because humanity is ready to take the next step. they were the last of the star systems to take that step. And so here we are now, right? We are ready. So of course now we're going through the birth canal, the darkness, and all the stuff of how challenging that birth process can be. But here we are, and I think we are ready for the other end. So I do a thing called 5D Star Portal, and that includes Stargate activation meditations and astrology, which as above, so below, and lunar phase manifestation. How to work with the moon. And we see the moon. What does it mean? Oh, it's big, it's little, it's this side is bright, that side. So it all means something, and if we tune into that, then we can really use the energy that moves the ocean, the energy that moves all of us inside that we're pretty much unaware of. So it's about really waking up and being aware.
Well, we're talking about finding your sexiness. I mean, what's more sexy than that? Explain how that fits in.
Well, you know, I will say that through the years, like I'm a Libra. Actually, both Joan and I are both Libra.
We have Libra
moons. Okay. So, and I haven't done your chart. So
I don't know. I think I have a Scorpio moon, maybe.
Oh, okay.
Is that bad?
No, that's not bad. It's a very
My daughter has a Scorpio.
her daughter, my last relationship. So there's a lot of things depending on that, but oftentimes, depending, there are many different kinds of astrology. And next year, I'm looking forward to bringing a wide variety of astrologers here for a panel to really talk about this, because I think it's so important. It's so like beyond sun sign. And in fact, back in the day, your moon sign was what people were really interested in, right? And so your moon sign is like the school that you graduated from in past lives.
Ooh.
So stuff having to do with that. So if Scorpio is your moon, it's mastery and like the Tantra arts. It's powerful energy.
Oh, that's really sexy then, the tantric arts. Maybe that's why I'm talking about that.
Exactly. I would not be surprised. And then it depends. There's a lot of other things
mastery.
there to look at. Yes, because that would be kind of like in your cellular DNA, right? And depending where your nodes are, you know, mine happens to be in the 7th house, which is relationships. So, oh my God, not only did I graduate from the school, but I've got a PhD. Right? So this life, relationships is something that have come easy to me. I've had a lot of relationships, deep love, I'm finally at the place where I'm looking at manifesting the Amazon goddess of who I am, my independence, my sovereignty. Now, my Libra moon wants to be, you know, is harmony and love and peace and all of these things, and those are wonderful. They come really easily to both Joan and I, because and she's a Pisces, so that's a whole other water element, and it's psychic, and
Absolutely.
she's like, you know, she's got all the psychic angels around her, so it really starts to really fall into place. But so, in terms of the sexy, I mean, Venus in Aries is kind of a bold, you know, Venus in Aries is like, I am here type of thing. And there's certainly a lot of other things to look at in terms of my Jupiter is in Scorpio. So that's kind of like the quickest path to get there is through the sexy quality as a possibility. So there's lots of
What do you think,
yummies.
Joan, about what does finding your sexiness mean to you? What is sexy
Well,
to you?
that's so interesting. What's really sexy to me is being passionate. Like, so I wake up ready to leap out of bed, and it's like Superwoman, like leap out of bed and tall, you know, flying over the tall buildings in a single bound. But that comes from a passion for my purpose. So I think, in a sense, sexiness is really knowing who you are, why you're here, and really feeling like, you know, I talk about wing fluffing, well, really feeling like you can come out and be seen.
So about being passionate, about finding your purpose, and really waking up in the morning and loving what you
loving
do.
who you are and really feeling all expression. So sexiness to me is is your inner passion for your life, which makes you sexy, I think. And it's kind of interesting. I sort of see it as a switch. Yeah, I haven't been in my sexiness mode for a while, but I wasn't looking. But it's so funny. I came this
You are
weekend.
now, though.
I came this weekend going, okay, and I actually literally turned up my sexiness meter. So, you know, we have these meters we can turn on. So sexiness is life. It is life. And when you shut it off, it's like you've shut off your creativity also.
It's about having fun and being creative.
Yeah,
and
but some of us have trouble with this having fun part. We feel we're here for such responsibility that we've shut it off.
I like the
This
fluffing
is
the
about-
wings things.
Oh yeah, well you gotta fluff
Yeah.
the wings.
So do we all have wings?
We all have wings. We all have wings, but I will tell you this. Lifetimes and lifetimes of having been burned at the stake or chastised or tortured for being an aware being, like all of us have been, with using our gifts as life, are those, like the gifts we're sharing now are the ones that got us killed in all those other lifetimes. So for some people, really stepping into the mastery and feeling that is challenging. And so my work has been great because it's about, like I really focus on what are you here to do? What's your purpose? What's been in your way? How do we unleash your special gifts this lifetime so you can actually be who you are? And what's so exciting is that I've been on this path myself. So in 2006, I was told that I was going to lose everything for the second time. And that I would not regain it until I had aligned myself, body, mind, and spirit, okay? Now, I didn't even really know what that was. And so sure enough, it all came to pass, and it's been about learning how to really be true to who you really are. And so what I do in 2013, and I really became an oracle. I'm an intuitive, and I finally let my gifts of hearing and channeling come through. But 2013, because I was really desperate, this body, soul, and mind alignment was a hard lesson. I lost everything again. You know, I lost my home, and I was unstable.
So you think they did that to set the work for you?
Well, I had a very big mission. I've been a healer since I was born, and I knew that my mission had been here to heal and inspire millions of people. And I was told that when I was 30. And I was a chiropractor, and even one-on-one was too frustrating for me. It was like I have a global mission. And I actually lost everything because I was injured. It's complicated. And
but we say it's because of this or that, but actually it's almost like we've made an agreement to do that.
I contracted to do this, and I contracted to show that it doesn't matter if you lose everything. You can still regain everything by knowing who you are and not letting it beat you down. And so my kids and I formed the Miracle Makers Club because we were destitute. We wanted a miracle. And we formed a group to manifest a mastermind to create that. But anyway, so here I am, 2013, and I had lost everything, and it was hard. It had become hard, and I couldn't even teach about miracles anymore because, you know, here I wasn't in a miracle. I was trying to get this. And I heard this voice on Halloween going, paint 33 angels in 30 days. I went, what? It's a lot of work. I can't paint eyes. I have 100 excuses.
Were you a painter already?
No. I had painted a few little things, but, no. And but I was in alignment with learning how to listen to my intuition. You know, that was my training ground. And so finally I said yes, and this came through, whoosh, 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 painted 33 angels, and then they started channeling the information to me of what I was to do with it, you know. And I would be in a room with after the 33 angels, I discovered I could create an angel portal, okay? I actually just discovered this book fell off the wall. It said, your call for angelic assistance has been heard. We're here. And that's how it really began, honestly, just like that.
So now the angels talk to you, and you actually developed cards with the
I developed cards.
paintings.
So I became a paintbrush, literally a paintbrush. I would paint with my eyes closed. I would turn the art upside down sometimes. I had an argument with one of my beings that came through. She said, paint nose rings. I said, I don't do nose rings. And she said, beloved, you are to paint me as I am, not as you want me to be. But I have been told I'm about 95% accurate, when it's not me painting, when I become that channel. And so people come to me, I paint commissioned paintings for people specifically on who is working with you or who you are in other realms. Or people will come and look and they'll go, oh my God, that painting winked at me or looks like me. And the art has the energy of the divine. So the art itself is high vibrational frequency. And I want to just tell you one quick thing about Shima and I moved to Baja. I had a group, Baja Paranormal. I lost that to move. And I'm studying UFOs and all that stuff. And I have a regression with Yvonne Smith. I go, why was I called to Baja? And she said, and so she does this regression. And I'm in the regression. And everyone in my group is sound asleep. There's one of 6 ships. And I see that the mothership is up there. Everyone in Baja Paranormal, like 95 people in my group, are sound asleep, sitting like this. And I'm on a platform, and what am I doing? I'm raising people's vibration, literally. And one at a time, I'm standing there. And I did this automatically in a lot of meditations with clients already. So I'm doing this on the ship, and I'm going one at a time. And I said, yeah, and you made this agreement, you're not leaving the planet till every person on the planet is tuned up so Earth can be in harmony. Musical sound. It was so cool. And then I said, one-on-one, you have to be kidding, that's going to take me 1 billion years at least. And the next thing I knew, Shima was on the ship. She was on board my ship in my regression.
Wow. And you're sitting at home, you have no idea about this?
I have no idea. No.
Well, she had spent a month with me in Baja when I first moved, calming me down.
And helped move her.
Because we're very dear friends. But this is a year later, I'm having this regression, and she's on the ship. And their message was that, yes, Shima and I together have this mission of raising vibratory frequency for the planet. So that, see, if you have an orchestra and even one instrument's out of tune, you can hear it. And Mother Earth says it's about us all singing in this orchestra. And Shima was assigned to, it was so cool, and here we are on your video together. Okay.
Wow.
Thank you, God.
Okay, so show us some of these cards.
Okay, so.
Oh, yes. I have to say something about Joan and her card. I went from Conscious Life Expo, from doing like one of my first Stargates here at Conscious Life to open up the event. And then and I like to go visit with her afterwards because I'm always coming down from up north. And so I had not been to her sanctuary out in the desert. And we went out there and I walked into this house and oh my God, these beings, these paintings of these like amazing, energetic frequencies coming through. It was just really astounding. And then there she is. I mean, I'd go to bed at night. I wake up in the morning, and she had taken one of these great paintings that she did, and it was like totally revamped into something else. I mean, really, I watched the energy work through her, and it was just really astounding. So these are very exciting that she has brought them together, and it just always amazes me.
I love you.
So let's look at some of your cards and tell us what they mean.
So what happened was 44 of the paintings. So I just understand every inch of the house is full with art, and they just said to me, Joan, we just can't sit here. It's time for us to be out in the world. And it's like, well, what is it that you want people to know right now? And it's like miracles, because I've had the Miracle Makers Club, so these are miracle messages from the Masters of Miracles. And so I had this vision one night, and they were like cards dancing for me. It was very cool. So these are some of my paintings. So it's so funny. These are the UFOs and the angels. Divine contact, and I very much felt that.
So this one here, what does this one mean?
Light beings are with you now. They're activating your energy, and it's so interesting because that painting's in the house. I've been told that the original is going to be in a museum as an example of our spirituality from this time, of when we were starting to connect with the light beings, the extraterrestrials, and the angelic realms. So it's kind of like what Shima's saying, you know, that the energy of the Stargate, that when we can connect with when we can feel the energy, and ETs, angels, they work on other interdimensional planes. And when we feel that, it can awaken and change our energy and shift and create miracles.
Well, let's pull a couple.
Yes.
Yeah, let's
so
pull
why
a
don't you
couple.
pull a card.
What are we reading on? Like, what's
Well, we're
the
talking
state
about
now? About how people can get into their life, their purpose, their sexiness, huh?
Yes,
So if
let's
people
do
at
that.
home, if people at home are
Oh,
going,
my
okay, well, I
goodness.
don't know, I've got blocks, I've got this, that, and the other. Let's see what the angels say.
All right.
How somebody can kind of get out of their shell.
Absolutely. Let's ask what the Masters of Miracles have to say.
Okay, so this is the card right here.
Yeah.
Okay, what
it's
was
the
it?
Eye of Heaven. Okay, so the first thing is being awakened and activated by these energies. So, for all of those who are sitting and watching this, it's about, first of all, you're watching this because it's your time. You are being awakened and activated. Even through this, all of this energy transfers through you. So and it's interesting, even if you had these cards in your home, you'd have the energy of this ship in there that's awakening you and bringing miracles.
So the fact that somebody's tuned in and listening to this right now,
you will feel
this is a
this.
certain message
Yes.
for them.
It's a certain message for you. Certainly not for me, but it is for
Okay,
me
let's pull another
Yeah,
card.
do
Let's see what else
Pull
they
another.
say.
So that's the Eye of Heaven. Oh my God, this is the ancient one, Abraham. Okay, so this happens to be a Gail Thackeray story. I was in my very first Gail Thackeray workshop. It was a post-conference workshop probably 4 years ago. Oh my God, Gail, you won't believe this. It was right after I began painting. It was 2014, I'm sure of it. I had started painting the fall of 2013, so maybe it was in the fall of 2014, and I'm in your workshop, and it was the first level
Healing, Reiki, yeah.
and you said, okay, I want you did this guided meditation to call in our guides, and Abraham came to me. Now remember, I've been busy now painting the second level of beings. They're big beings, huge, and they're like really, and so you said to do this meditation, and Abraham came to me, and I left that session. You initiated us, and I went home and I painted Abraham. Okay.
Wow. So I can kind of take a little bit of credit for that then, that Abraham came through while we were doing that.
Well, I'm going to tell you something else. So before I came here, it's like Gail's the one person I just want to have a personal connection with, and we had breakfast with you the other day. It was like, this is my vision come true, but I actually literally forgot about this experience until right now.
So
I didn't
he
come
just
in here
popped up.
planning to tell this.
Yeah, he just popped up on purpose
He
just to
popped
say,
up.
remember?
So what is this about? It's actually, we're all guided, and we have ancestral memories. Our ancestors are guiding us all to know that they're taking you to the right place at the right time. I mean, I'm sitting here with Gail telling you the story of how this painting, and she doesn't know that I went home and painted this. I've probably been waiting 4 years for the right time to actually, and actually I'm going to tell you this, I asked Shima to make sure I could go to that workshop special, because it meant so much to me. So just remember that they're here to support you.
And when we put something out
have
there,
to ask, yes.
and then they'll line it up for us just like you did.
That's what they told me, and they've reminded me that actually if I ask out loud, it'll come faster than if I use just my thought. Now my thought usually works, but it's really better when you ask.
Oh, that's
Okay,
I haven't
it's
heard that.
given.
So if you actually say it out
If you
loud.
say it out loud, you're doing better. Yes.
All right. Should we do one more card?
Yes. They want one more
yes.
card. So fun. Oh well, this is the answer to our prayers,
Yay.
guys. This is victory. This means we learn to let go of everything that keeps us from walking on our path, doing the work we came here to do, and sharing our very special gifts. Okay, victory. This painting was done right after the Bhakti Fest. Oh my God, I did a meditation and Krishna came to me, and then I didn't leave my studio for 6 weeks. I was like with Krishna, and you walk in the house, and you're invited, by the way. Any of you are, but especially that would be fun. But yeah, you walk in the house and Krishna's at the door greeting you. So victory, just know every step you are taking, especially if you're letting go of ask to let go of what doesn't serve you. And so the work I do is really helping people remember these steps and take them courageously and fluff their wings.
And we were asking, how can people at home be more successful, come out of their shell and find their sexiness?
Well, your success is assured. Okay, also, just to show you, when you fluff your wings, okay, you have to bring your shoulders back. Okay, just chest out.
Okay, so let's fluff our wings, okay? So we fluff our wings.
Okay,
You want to show us how to do it, Joan?
Okay, so you gotta stand up.
Oh, we got to stand up. Okay, okay. All
You
right.
gotta fix the camera
Okay,
for us
okay.
because we're standing up. It's hard to do that, but okay. So actually, get this:
Okay,
our
there we
scapula is also known as your wings. The scientific name is
Makes
wings.
sense,
So
yes.
if you bring your shoulders back and you imagine. Okay, and I do these workshops where we fluff wings. People love them. So you just send your roots to the earth and imagine an antenna going
And this
up
is for
to
men
you.
or women?
Yes, we all have
those
wings.
gorgeous wings. I'm just telling you, bring your wings back. And then I like to call in the angels and have you feel that they're here to each pull out a feather. They're pulling out all of those feathers to clean them.
Fluff them up.
Okay, fluff them up. You know, guys, remember I started and said we've had them hidden for years.
Yes.
And now we get to pull them out this lifetime safely.
And this is our
Safely.
sexiness.
And
Bringing out our
sexy,
wings.
because actually, once you've pulled out your wings, it's really hard to go like this again. It's so hard to hide yourself again, folks. So I have a saying that I never go out without my wings fluffed, because if I go out without my wings fluffed, I literally am like this. You could tell. You just can tell. Okay, people know when Joan's off because she's like this. But when my wings are fluffed.
Okay, fellow
right.
angels, thank you
Oh,
so much for sharing
yay.
this. Thank you so much for coming on here.
Thank you,
Shima. Thank you, Joan.
All right, so
Thank
that
you.
invitation is there. I'd love to have
Wonderful.
you out there.
Thank you.
Beautiful.
Okay, so how can, if people at home want to find out more about your work, tell us, do you have a website?
Well, actually, my website, I have to say, Joan was very instrumental in my website. She came over when I was living in Marin, and she came over and spent a couple of nights, and we created my website. Very rudimentary, but happy to have it up. And it's Shima, Shima, Moore.com. And it's still there. Needs a little tweaking, but it's a good overview of things.
And Joan?
I'm just awed by your work, Shima. JoanofAngels.com. Joan of Angels.
And do you do readings? Or
I do readings, I do soul awakening sessions, I do coaching to help you turn that switch on, align your body, mind, and spirit.
And people can get these beautiful cards?
You can get these cards, and you can actually get the originals and the copies. Oh, and I put them on scarves, so take a look. Really, celestial.
Wow, I think I'm going to have an Abraham.
Oh, you were yeah.
Oh, that is interesting about Abraham, Gail. I think I've been waiting to tell you this story.
Well, thank you.
Oh, thank you.
Thank you. This has
What
been
a
great.
fun,
Great.
what a fun